Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Okay, we're just going to jump right into it today because we are unpacking a truly fascinating narrative. It comes straight from a short story called The Fruit of Hard Work. We're going to follow the journey of a village boy named Ali. Now, on the surface, this might just seem like a simple feel-good tale, but actually, when you look a bit closer, it's this incredibly powerful lesson about resilience, strategic wealth building, and the sheer undeniable power of compounding effort. Honestly, if you've ever felt like the odds were just completely stacked against you, this is absolutely the explainer for you. Right off the bat, I want you to really think about this for a second. Have people ever mocked your dreams? Seriously, have you ever shared a big goal or some wild ambition only to be met with laughter, skepticism, or maybe someone bluntly telling you that you're just aiming way too high? It's a totally universal human experience, right? And frankly, it's one of the heaviest psychological barriers to success out there. We're starting right here because this exact feeling of doubt and that external mockery, well, that's the absolute foundation of Ollie's entire journey. We're going to see exactly how he handles this universal friction. Section 1, Beginning. A poor boy. Let's take a look at the humble origins of Ollie. So our story kicks off with a really stark picture of his day-to-day reality. Ali wasn't born into wealth. He didn't have a network of influential contacts, and he certainly didn't have access to any sort of capital. Every single day, he made his living by selling vegetables from a basic, simple bicycle. I mean, just try to picture that scene for a minute. The heavy lifting, the pedaling under the blazing hot sun, the sheer physical grind of trying to earn a meager living literally one vegetable sale at a time. And as if the physical toll of all that wasn't enough, there was this massive emotional toll too. Ali faced the constant sting of doubt and mockery. The villagers around him didn't just ignore him, they actively made fun of him. They're constantly telling him that he would never be successful. Imagine hearing that every single day while you're out there sweating and working. It's an environment practically designed to crush your ambition. The psychological weight of having your own community tell you that your current state of poverty is your permanent destiny, that's immense. Most people would just internalize that negativity and surrender to it. Section 2. Mockery and silent hard work. Turning negativity into fuel. Okay, here is where the narrative totally shifts. Ali makes this deliberate choice to take all that intense negativity and use it as fuel. He absolutely refuses to give up. He doesn't argue with the villagers, he doesn't try to debate them or, shout from the rooftops about his big future plans. Instead, his response is entirely internalized and action-oriented. He channels all of that frustration into a highly disciplined, completely silent routine. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the incredible contrast in his life. By day, his routine is exactly what the villagers see. He's out there selling vegetables on his bicycle, just enduring their mockery. It looks like a life of total stagnation. But his night routine? Well, that is where the magic happens. By night, totally out of sight from his doubters, he is studying business and meticulously planning for his future. It brilliantly illustrates the whole concept of the unseen hours. The mockers, they only saw the sweat on the bicycle. They had absolutely no idea about the intellectual foundation being built by lamplight. So the really crucial point here is how these habits formed a very concrete ladder out of poverty. It wasn't magic, It was highly methodical. Let's walk through the exact steps from the source. Step 1. Work hard by day to secure baseline survival. Step 2. Learn about business by night to start expanding his mental horizons. Step 3. And honestly, this one is vital. Save small amounts of money. He didn't just sit around waiting for some massive windfall, he relied on micro savings. Which leads us straight into step 4, leveraging those small savings to finally open a small shop. This sequence really shows us that escaping his circumstances wasn't some lucky break. It was a deliberate, tightly executed algorithm of effort and discipline. Section 3, From Bicycle to Superstore, the scaling of a dream. Now, up until this point, Ollie's progress has been slow, it's been a grind, and it's been largely invisible to the public eye. But once that small shop is established, the dynamics of his hard work really begin to shift. That foundation he built during all those quiet nights studying business, it starts to physically manifest in the real world. His business begins to compound and grow at an incredible rate. Let's trace this growth for a second. Year 1, there he is, grinding away, selling vegetables on a bicycle. Fast forward to year 3, those micro savings and all those night studies have materialized into opening a small shop. That's a massive milestone. But he doesn't stop there. No way. As the source notes, after a few years, it transforms all over again. By year 7, that small shop has grown into a large superstore.
And looking even further down the timeline to year 10, he is a wildly successful businessman opening multiple branches. We literally see a bicycle, slowly but surely, transforming into an absolute business empire. It really is the ultimate representation of patience.
And all of this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate shift in perspective within his community. Remember those villagers from the beginning of our explainer? Well, the source material highlights this wonderfully satisfying irony. The exact same people who once mocked him, the ones who bluntly told him he'd never amount to anything while he was pedaling that bicycle, they are now the very people who use Ali as the ultimate example of success. I mean, his results became so undeniable that they literally forced the world around him to change its mind. He didn't change their minds with words. Actually, scratch that. He didn't even try. He changed their minds with undeniable, overwhelming proof of execution.
Section 4. The real secret of success. Ali's final lesson.
So everything we've covered today, the bicycle, the relentless mockery, the late-night studying, the superstore branches, all of it is just prologue to the core message that Ali himself wants to leave behind. Let's just let this quote sink in for a moment. The secret to getting rich is not luck, but continuous hard work and patience. Ali explicitly removes the entire concept of chance from the equation. He thoroughly debunks that whole myth of overnight success. He's telling us directly that wealth and success are simply the byproducts of effort applied consistently over a long period of time. It's continuous hard work, that grueling day and night routine, combined with patience. Actually waiting those years for the bicycle to become a superstore.
The story concludes with this really enduring truth. Hard work is never wasted. Every single drop of sweat pedaling that bicycle, every single page of business strategy read by dim light, every single tiny coin saved, none of it was in vain. Even back when he couldn't see the superstore and his immediate future, that hard work was quietly, steadily building the solid foundation for it. It's such a powerful reminder that your preparation and your study, even when it's completely ignored or actively mocked by others, will eventually yield undeniable results. Which brings us right to the end of our explainer, and I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What is your bicycle today, and what are you building tonight? We all have a starting point that might feel small or insignificant, and we all face our own versions of doubt. But based on Ali's blueprint, the real question is, are you willing to do the unseen work in the dark to eventually build your future superstore? Thank you so much for joining me, and keep building.